Welcome back to the Sleepy Keys Tingle Network. Today on the program, we are serving up fun and fanciful food-themed salt and pepper shakers. Put that back down there. Now, you've seen a lot of different salt and pepper shakers on the Sleepy Keys Tingle Network, but you haven't seen a collection quite like this. We've had eggs, we've had roosters, we've had glass, ceramic. Oh gosh, I don't know that we've had a horse yet. And we've had some houses, we've had flowers. Anyways, this is the food-themed salt and pepper shaker collection today on the Sleepy Keys Tingle Network. And what we have in this collection is 5 sets of gorgeous and fun and whimsical food-themed salt and pepper shakers that can be yours today for just $29.99. I know, unbeatable deal. So I do want to show you a little bit more about each one of these salt and pepper shakers. And I think I'll go ahead and start with the pears right here in the middle. So now we've seen, like I said, a lot of different salt and pepper shakers, a lot of different themes, and we've seen a lot of different caddies, but we haven't seen a caddy like this before. This is a hand-woven basket holding these 2 green pear salt and pepper shakers. Now, I don't know what kind of pears these are. Bartlett, maybe. I don't know, Barbara. Okay, well, either way, what we have here are very realistic looking pears. Like, I'm tapping on it, and you would think, oh, I thought it was a real pear and it would be soft, but it actually is a ceramic. This is a ceramic, handmade, hand-painted, and detailed pear. You can tell it looks so realistic because there are these elements of little speckles and dots. And it kind of looks to me like a pear that you'd want to smell. I don't think you give it a squeeze test to see if it's ripe, but it's so realistic it makes you think, oh, should I be eating that on the table? Did someone just put 2 pears in a little basket as a snack on the kitchen table or the dining room table? And you say, no, that's a salt and pepper. And this one in particular is the salt. We've got 2 holes on the top next to this fun little pear stem, like it was just picked off of the pear tree. And then for the pepper, we have 3 holes on the top for pouring on that flavor. And I think the reason why the pear shape is so popular is because it is kind of ergonomic when you think about a salt and pepper shaker, right? So, you know, you might have to worry a little bit about these getting jostled on your table, not too much, but they're just very easy to pick up and then to pour the flavor on like that, right? Gosh, I mean, they don't even need the basket, but I would worry if you didn't have the basket, they could somehow get mixed up with your actual fruit basket, and then, you know, you'd be stuck with these somehow in the fruit basket, and then somebody picks it up and they say, what's this? They take a bite if they aren't paying attention and then hurt their teeth. That's a trip to the dentist. Probably wouldn't happen, but they're so realistic I'd be a little bit worried. Now they have the rubber stoppers on the bottom. It's a decent size too. You can fit a lot of salt and pepper in these. This is a good size. This is going to be for a good dinner table size. Now, because it's the pear style, the pear fruit, these are very summertime into early fall. I don't know if it's pear season quite yet, but here's where these are really special because of this basket. How fun is that? This has been hand woven. Look at the craftsmanship. Look at the craftsmanship on this. There's a little handle for your caddy, so you always know. You tell folks, don't just leave it on the table. Don't just leave it. Please put the salt and pepper in the caddy. It goes in the caddy. Wow. How cute. And how secure in the caddy. And then you can take it from, you know, the kitchenette to the dining room. You can take it, if you're having a TV dinner, you could take it into the living room. It probably makes more sense to go ahead and just salt and pepper it before you leave the room. But anyway, it's very, very mobile because of the basket. You're not having to try and, oh, I'll be right there, and you're holding both of them, trying to hold plates and napkins. No, that's what the caddy's for. How cute. And then we actually have two other pairs. Now, if these are Bartlett, see how they have got that green look to it? This must be some other sort of pear that is smaller and perhaps not as tasty. I don't know. Don't know everything about pears. But I do know that this is going to be for your salt, one whole. Oh, and this is actually one whole as well. So perhaps either one. You just pick and choose. Oops. It's a piece of the basket. But because they're identical, you're going to have to put a little bit in your hand first to see, is this salt or is this pepper? Now, while these pears were a lot more realistic, with the speckles and everything, and look at that glistening shine. These are more of an artist's rendering of what is a pear and what is a yellowish pear. Perhaps these aren't quite ripe enough, and that's okay. We don't need to eat them. We just need to pour on the flavor. So I'm not worried about it. And they have a very cutesy, smaller size. So these pears, beautifully hand painted. The yellow, the great finish on this, the green for the leaves, the little stem. I can see these being a great addition to a farm style kitchen. They are quaint salt and pepper shakers. Very very cute, and have that lovely yellow color scheme, which is always popular in a farm themed kitchen. And they won't overpower any, you know, rooster themes that you might have going on there as well. So, and then staying within the sort of yellow farm theme, look at this. Corn. 2 ears of corn. Now, I don't believe that these are cooked because they've got the husk on, and the husks don't look like they've been cooked. But how delicious do these look? They're 2 little corns. Now, here's the thing. I do wish we had corn with a face. I would like to see a little bit more, something anthropomorphic. None of these food product salt and pepper shakers today have that level of whimsy. So some could say that these are a little classier, right? Or it's a salt and pepper shaker that you're going to want to gift to someone who, you know, loves pears, Bartlett and yellowish, or corn. And who doesn't love corn? I love it. I think we should probably do a show where we've got the corn holders, the little thing you stick them on either end after you make the corn, and then your corn on the cob is easy to eat, even when it's piping hot. I don't believe these are piping hot. These really say to me, cornfield. Fresh off the cornfield, corn for sale. Like, have you seen maybe a farm stand? And they've got all the corn, but just some of the husk taken off. So it's like a little tease for the person buying the corn to be like, oh, that corn looks good. And it looks good because they took some of the husk off. But look at these kernels. Look at the detail in there. Go ahead and zoom in, Bruce. Look at the kernel detail. Gosh, there must be, just in this one, showing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 40, 41, 42, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 65, 80. I can see just on this side 80 individual kernels that have been, wonderfully and meticulously formed in this beautiful and somewhat realistic looking ear of corn with the husk. And even the husk has some shading details to give it a realistic husk look. And gosh, if that was 80 over here, that might be 80 over here. We might be looking at 160. I don't know. It's a lot of kernels just on one beautiful artistic piece of salt and pepper shaker art. And then we've got the big rubber stoppers. So I can see these being popular, especially if you're serving corn at the dinner table. So how fun would that be to have, dinner planned? You've got friends over and you say, oh, got the corn. Oh, pass me the salt and pepper. You mean pass you the corn for your corn? And that person has since rolled the corn over some loose butter that was on the table, and they've made an indent in it, and that is now the corn butter. I mean, you could use it for something else, but it's got that weird dent in it. And then they're salting and peppering their corn with the corn salt and pepper shakers. It doesn't get more summertime than that. So this is a set. You may want to gift it to the corn lover that you know, but I would honestly recommend maybe getting two of this set, because you're going to want to keep these for yourself. They're too cute. And yeah, I said it was summery, but corn, this is not a tricolor corn, so you could use these into the fall time, but I could see wanting to transition into something with the brown and purple kernels or orange kernels for your Thanksgiving tablescape. But in a pinch, you could go ahead and use these in your Thanksgiving tablescape as well. So, pears, corn, and then, oh gosh, look at these. Your green pepper and your red pepper. Now, what this is missing is, say we had a yellow pepper, so then you get the stoplight mix where it's red, green, yellow. But to me, every pepper is go. Go for peppers. They're great. Good on everything. Chop them up, put them in a salad, put them on your pizza. You can even carve out the top, take out the top, and then you can fill the pepper with things, and then you throw it in the oven. Bake it for a little while, 315, maybe 375. And then you've got a stuffed pepper. You ever had one of those, Barbara? Now, I love them because it's like the pepper is the bowl. It's like you get to eat out of your bowl or utensil. I don't know if you've ever gotten a taco salad and they make the bowl out of a shell. I think that's fun when that happens, when you get to have your, not your silverware. Well, that would be something. But your flatware, your dinnerware is actually edible, right? Anyways, red pepper, so good. Green pepper, also great. These aren't spicy peppers. These are just regular bell peppers. Not that that's regular. Bell peppers are great. But it's not going to be, like a spicy pepper. If you've got one of those people in your lives that likes all the spicy foods and they eat the spicy peppers, the jalapenos and such. These are from Zest Garden. These are Zest Garden, and they are bell peppers, and the green bell pepper is going to be your salt, which honestly I think makes sense, because then you've got the red as your pepper. You got the 3 holes, and that makes sense because pepper isn't necessarily spicy, but it's pepper, and it's got a kick to it as opposed to salt. And so having the red pepper be the spicy one, it just makes sense. You're not going to have people like, oh, which one's salt and which one's pepper. It makes sense. The red one's pepper. Now, a set like this, they are artistically done. They are ceramic. They're sturdy, great base. And because we have a green and red pepper, I could see these really being a standout in an Italian-themed kitchen. So one where you've got your oil jars out with the garlic and whatnot in them. One where you maybe have a couple of red and green elements as well, or Italian flag style decor. Oh gosh, what else would be in an Italian style kitchen? I think big salad, salad scoopers like this. See, it just goes together. It just looks really good. And you could pass them like this. Oh, you want something a little side? No. No, don't do that. Okay. These are really helpful to round out the different themes here. And again, the peppers, I think these are good all year round, especially if you've got more of the Italian colors and themes in your kitchen or dining room. But these could also be a great gift for the pepper lover in your life as well. And last but not least, onion. We've got a couple of onions. Now, these are just so beautiful. And from a distance, I could see where someone might mistake this as being a real onion. What do you think? The only thing that would throw them off is the fact that it's got this glossy glaze, and generally you don't see a glossy onion, unless of course it's been peeled, in which case you might see a bit of a sheen under that onion skin, where it's like a little bit of moisture on there, and then it'll glisten. But no, these just look like, it honestly looks like a piece of art. A lot of our salt and pepper shakers on the program could be dual use and just put in a display case and just, like a small statues that you have in your home. And I do love onions. I believe this is a yellow onion. It could be a sweet Vidalia. A little bit hard to tell from these darker areas, which give it that depth and that realistic look. And the size, we don't know if this is to scale. If it's to scale, I think it's not a small white, and it certainly isn't a red onion. I think it's sweet or Vidalia, possibly yellow. Anyways, these are unopened onions and not yet peeled, and they're such beautiful salt and pepper shakers that, have all the beauty of an onion but without the tears, right? Because you're not going to cut into these. You're just going to fill them with salt and pepper and then use them on your table or have them decorate your tablescape. So we've got, gosh, and then they're so sturdy because they're kind of flat, they're bulbous, because they're bulbs. They're bulbous bulbs. They're sitting on your table. They're not going anywhere. You could put them on a Lazy Susan and you could spin at full speed and they're not gonna fly off. These onions, I'd say they're my favorite, but gosh, you could cook a meal. You could cook a meal with the sweet Vidalia onions, the adorable corn ears, the green peppers, and then maybe make a pie with your pears right here. A whole meal of beauty and salt and pepper whimsy. Yours today for just $29.99. Barbara says we have a caller. Okay. Okay, yeah, caller, go ahead.
Hi, this is Marcy calling again. Now what I believe you have there, it could be a Bartlett pear. Those are real sweet, but they do get real mushy when they are ripe. Now I have a couple of books about pears, and what I'm thinking you got there is a green anjou. It's really the perfect pear, not too sweet, not too soft, and that's going to be for the pears that are in the little basket. Now, what I believe you've got for the other set, the lighter ones, I think those are probably Concord. Now, it could be a Basque, could be a Bartlett too, but I'm thinking it's a Concord. At least that's what I know from looking at my pear book. anyways, just wanted to let you know what kind of pears you got there. Okay, bye-bye.
Okay, well, great, Marcy. Love to hear from you. Now, folks, you do want to call soon because this lovely food-themed salt and pepper shaker collection is not going to last. These are certainly going to sell out. So we do hope to hear from you soon. Give us a call today. Sleepy Keys Tingle Network, food-themed salt and pepper shakers, yours today for just $29.99. All right,